So till now, what we have covered is how you uh, are introduced to the concept of portfolio management, and then how we analyze individual securities to compose a portfolio. Now, under the securities, we have covered the equity valuation through various models. Now we come to the second type of security that can be included in the portfolio, which is in form of debt securities or bonds. So let us see how do we value bonds, how do we choose between alternative debt investments, and what impact do they have on the portfolio of the firm. So first, general introduction. By this time, all of you know that debt form of financing is basically a loan taken by the firm from the public, for which the firm will pay interest at regular intervals, and at the expiry of the duration the firm will have to repay back the principal amount. Also, debt instruments get a preference over equity over the preference share capital in terms of distribution of interest, and then at the time of winding up of the company also their claims are settled first, and they're given priority over the preference and equity shareholders. Okay. Now bonds are basically an IOU. You have a look here. They are IOUs. And what do we mean by IOUs? So it is an acknowledgement that the company has taken some loan and it owes the loan to the debt holder, against which you are getting some regular interest income, and that interest income is the liability of the firm. It's the responsibility of the firm to settle the claims of the debt holders. Okay, then bonds and debentures. This also we have discussed a number of times in the class, that though the terms are used interchangeably, there's a difference. Bonds are issued by government, while government and government corporations, while debentures are issued by private players in the market. So, as issued by government, bonds are a more safer form of investment as compared to debentures. They are secured by some collateral, while debentures, they might not be secured. They may be secured and they might not be secured. Bonds are comparatively more safer form of investment, and as a result they will offer you a lower rate of interest as compared to the debentures. Okay. So generally these terms are used interchangeably, but these are some differences between bonds and debentures. Basic bond characteristics, again very general. Bonds have a maturity date, okay, except for the cases where you have irredeemable debt, where no expiry date is given. Generally, bonds will have a fixed maturity, which is mentioned at the time of issue of the debt. Then bonds can be secured or unsecured. Secured will be which have a collateral backup with them, and unsecured are where there is no collateral. Then liquidation preference, as I told you, when the company is winding up, they will get preference over the shareholders. Then coupon. Coupon is the interest which is paid on the bond is known as the coupon rate of the bond. Okay, whether you are issuing the bond at discount, premium, or at par, coupon rate is always a percentage of the face value. Okay, irrespective of the terms at which the bond is issued or the terms on which it will be redeemed. A coupon rate is always paid, coupon interest is always paid on the face value of the bond. Okay, and then again your interest payment might be annual, semi-annual, quarterly or monthly also, depending on the type of bond which is issued. Then tax status. Now, till now we know that interest on debt is tax deductible. But when I use this statement, this is from the perspective of the company which is issuing the debt. तो कंपनी के लिए टैक्स डिडक्टेबल होता है जो कंपनी इंटरेस्ट पेमेंट डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करती है, बट in most of the cases the interest is taxable in the hand of the debt holder. In most of the cases, in the sense, there are some tax exempt bonds which are issued. Generally जो गवर्नमेंट होल्डिंग्स होती हैं, जैसे आपका NHAI है या म्यूनिसिपल बॉन्ड्स हैं, they can be issued with a tax free or tax exempt status, but otherwise, the interest received on bonds is tax deductible. Also, when you are selling the bonds, then the capital gains realized are subject to income tax. Okay. Then the next feature is callability. Now, this is a new feature. There are bonds which are callable. Callable का मतलब क्या है कि expiry से पहले company can redeem these bonds. Okay, I repeat myself. There is an option with the company that it can redeem the bonds before the expiry of the bonds. It can call back the bonds from the debt holders. Okay, and if this is done, the debt holder cannot refuse the entire arrangement. They will have to return the bonds. Okay, but why would a company call back the bonds even if time is left in the redemption? Yes, any idea, any guesses? Your company has issued bond for 10 years. After 5 years, you exercise the option of calling back the bonds. What can be the reasons behind this for the company?
Now that it has sufficient funds, it do not want to pay the interest. So,
They do not want to pay the interest. In the sense, why would a company leave this source of finance?
ma'am, because we now they have sufficient finance. I mean, from other sources or from retained earnings or anything that
Yeah,
they do not.
that can be a case, like the company does not want further obligation because now they have enough cash reserves with them, and they instead want to focus on other sources of finance. Yes, this can be a reason. Any other reason which you can think of?
Maybe to improve their debt to equity ratio.
To grow their debt equity ratio.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Grow, if you're calling back, then your debt is falling in the capital structure. So basically,
Basically, better debt to equity
yeah,
ratio. So, yes, ma'am.
yeah, to improvise would be the term. Say you are having a lump sum debt and you are exceeding the ideal debt equity ratio, then you might go for calling back of the bonds. Okay, so maybe Rahul says the company is going in losses, and yes, it might not want further obligations, but these can be some of the minor reasons. The biggest reason for callability is fall in interest rates in the market. Okay, so I'll just explain this point to you. Say your company Y Limited has issued bonds on 1st October 2020 at the rate 10%. for a time period of 10 years. Okay, so somewhere in 2025, the interest rate is falling to 8%. Now the company sees that the market dynamics have changed and the same debt can be offered at a lower interest rate. So the company would not want to continue with a 10% interest payment. It will call back the bonds which were issued at 10% and issue fresh bonds at 8%. So that reduces the interest liability of the company by 2%. Okay, so that is the added advantage of a callable bond for the firm. Okay, I hope this is clear. If there is any question, please ask. It is again a choice. A company might issue callable bonds and might never exercise the callable option, the call option on them. Okay, but if the market dynamics are changing like this, it would be better for the company to call back the bonds. Okay, next term or feature of bond is bond indenture. Indenture is a term used for the terms and conditions on which the bond has been issued. Okay, so all the terms and conditions agreed upon by the issuer of the bond are known collectively as the bond indenture. Okay, so this is a technical term which is used with respect to bonds. Now we move ahead to the types of bond. Okay, next the first category under this is convertible and non-convertible bonds. We use the term convertible and non-convertible with securities with respect to the option where you can convert a debt security or in some cases a preference share to equity after a period of time. So when I use the term convertible debentures, they are giving you the option of conversion into equity on maturity. Obviously, if any bond has this feature, it will have a higher issue price in the market as compared to a non-convertible bond. Okay, so NCD or non-convertible is where you will receive the interest payments on maturity, you will get back the principal amount. There is no option of conversion into shares. Okay, NCDs can be of two types, secured and unsecured. Again, secured will have a collateral with them, while unsecured, in case of unsecured non-convertible bonds, there is no collateral. A partially convertible bond. Okay, पार्शली कन्वर्टेबल में क्या होगा, जो आपका बॉन्ड है 100 रुपीज का, उसमें 40% प्रिंसिपल अमाउंट आपको रीपे हो जाएगा एट द एंड ऑफ द एक्सपायरी पीरियड एंड 60% से 60 रुपीज का बॉन्ड आप यू कैन देन कन्वर्ट इट इनटू इक्विटी शेयर्स. Okay, so you have the option of partially converting the bond into equity shares. Then there is another hybrid instrument which is mentioned here, important for short note, secured premium note. Okay, what is a hybrid instrument? Hybrid का मतलब क्या होता है? What is the meaning of the term hybrid? Yes, anyone? Hybrid is a combination. Yes, जनरली आप कार्स के केस में सुनते हो या फाइनेंशियल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स के केसेस में सुनते हो. हाइब्रिड इज वन विच कंबाइंस फीचर्स ऑफ टू इंडिविजुअल sources of finance. Okay, so a secured premium note is hybrid in the sense that it combines the features of both debt and equity. So what is a secured premium note? It is a financial instrument. If you have a look at the definition, which is issued with detachable warrants and are redeemable after a certain period. It is a non-convertible bond attached with warrant having a lock-in period of 4 to 7 years. ओके, सिंपल टर्म्स में आपने इशू करा एक सिक्योर्ड प्रीमियम नोट, एसपीएन कंपनी ने इशू करा, लॉक इन पीरियड है 4 to 7 years. इसका मतलब इससे पहले you cannot exit from this arrangement with the company. Okay. Now they have detachable warrants. Warrant is a claim to a share of a company, which means secured premium note may at the end of the lock-in period, you have the option of claiming shares from the company. I repeat myself, at the end of the lock-in period under the secured premium note arrangement, the holder has the option of claiming shares from the company provided the SPN has been fully paid up. तो होल्डर की कोई लाइबिलिटी नहीं होनी चाहिए, जो भी प्रिंसिपल पेमेंट थी वो 100% कंप्लीट होनी चाहिए. देन एट द एंड ऑफ द लॉक इन पीरियड the holder, the one debt holder who's having these secured premium notes can claim the share from the company. Also, no interest is paid in the lock-in period. तो अगर आपके SPN का 4 years का lock-in period है, you are not receiving any interest during this period. What happens is at the end of the lock-in period, कंपनी आपको इंस्टॉलमेंट में पैसा पे करना शुरू करती है, and that amount will cover both the principal payment and the interest payment. Okay, so benefit to the company of SPN is that during the duration of the financial instrument, no interest payment has to be made by the company. Company is obligation free for this 4 to 7 years. उसके बाद कंपनी इंस्टॉलमेंट्स में पैसा पे करती है डेट होल्डर को, और डेट होल्डर के पास ये भी ऑप्शन होती है that on payment of a certain amount he can get the shares of the company. Okay, but this arrangement is given only to listed companies after getting approval from the central government. Okay, let's move to the next category. If there's any question, please ask. So you can just have a look at the features. This is what I have already explained. Tisco was the first company which issued SPNs in India back in 1992. Okay, there's one point here. SPNs are formulated in the sense that the return on investment is treated as capital gain and not regular income. That is the whole benefit. आपको annual interest नहीं मिल रहा, बाद में जो आप payment receive कर रहे हो company से, that is categorized as capital gain. एंड नॉट रेगुलर इनकम। कैपिटल गेन पे कम टैक्स होता है, इसलिए फायदा होता है, जो होल्डर होता है उसको भी एसपीएन का फायदा होता है। ओके, आफ्टर दैट यू हैव दी नॉर्मल कैटेगरीज एज आई टोल्ड यू। रिडीमेबल होते हैं, इरिडीमेबल होते हैं। इरिडीमेबल इज basically the debentures which are perpetual in nature, which will continue till the expiry of the firm. Then you have secured and unsecured debentures, one which is backed by collateral or not. Then this is important theory point of view से। callable bonds मैंने आपको explain करा। callable bonds give the option to the issuer to call back the bonds if the interest is falling in the market. An alternative categorization is bonds with the put option, which are known as puttable bonds. तो पुटेबल बॉन्ड्स में अब कंपनी के पास ऑप्शन नहीं होती, ये ऑप्शन होती है होल्डर के पास, दैट दे कैन रिटर्न बैक द बॉन्ड्स टू द कंपनी बिफोर द एक्सपायरी ऑफ द टाइम पीरियड। व्हाई वुड अ डेट होल्डर रिटर्न बैक द बॉन्ड्स टू द कंपनी? Yes, Aryan, why would a debt holder return back the bonds to the company before their expiry? Aryan is here. Ashish, Ashish not here. पीयूष आप ट्राई करो बेटा। Aryan, I can repeat. We are doing the types of bonds. One bond is callable, the other is puttable. Puttable bond means कि जो debt holder है has the choice of returning back the bond to the company before expiry of the time period. So I am asking, why would a bond holder exercise this option? Yes, Piyush. ओके यशवर्धन आप ट्राई करो। So none of you can think of a reason. Okay, Ashu says company may offer more than what it's worth currently. What it's worth currently, Ashu, I didn't get you. पहले आप
I'm,
explain।
I'm meaning the current price of the bond, which the people would get if they were to redeem it right now. They would offer some premium on that, so that they would take that. It's
But
basically like
this
calling. Okay.
बट बेटा ये जो ऑप्शन है ये डेट होल्डर की तरफ से इनिशिएट होगी, ठीक है।
Yes, ma'am.
कॉलेबल
कंपनी
क्या
की तरफ से
होगा?
ना.
हाँ, नहीं नहीं, डेट होल्डर।
Okay.
हाँ, मतलब आपने, आपके पास बॉन्ड है, आपने कुछ एक्स्ट्रा पे करा होगा जब ये बॉन्ड आपने परचेज करा होगा कि आपको ये ऑप्शन मिले। ओके, and now
Yes, ma'am.
why will you exercise this option? So Rahul says people might have another opportunity. Rahul, you are right. Aryan says urgent need of money. Yes, that can also be a reason. If interest rate falls, bond is overpriced. It's actually working the opposite. इंटरेस्ट रेट आपका मार्केट में इंक्रीज हो रहा है। सेम चीज लेते हैं, 2020 में आपने बॉन्ड परचेज करा, तब इंटरेस्ट आपको जो बॉन्ड पे मिल रहा है वो 10% है। से 2022 में the interest rate in the economy increases to 12%. Now what would the bond holder do? He will return back these bonds, जो original bonds है, रिटर्न करेगा, कंपनी मना नहीं कर सकती। He will receive cash and he will now invest in a 12% bond. Okay, so this opportunity is giving more return and hence the debt holder will exercise this option. Yes, now if there is urgent need of money, he might not reinvest that amount, but generally this is what happens. If the interest rate in the economy falls, callable option is exercised by the company. And if the interest rates in the economy increase, then the puttable option is exercised by the debt holder. Okay, let's move ahead. Then these slides are giving you the meaning of both the types of bond. Next type of bond is a zero coupon bond. जीरो कूपन का मतलब क्या है? जिसपे जीरो इंटरेस्ट है. That is, during the duration of bond, you won't be receiving any interest payment. These bonds are issued at discount and redeemed at par. So, which means 100 rupees का bond है. Let's take a simple example. कंपनी 100 रुपी का बॉन्ड 95 रुपीज पर इशू कर रही है for 1 year. So after 1 year, this bond will be redeemed back at 100 rupees. आपने 95 पे करा, आपको 100 rupees वापस मिल जाएंगे. The difference of 5 rupees is the gain you have made on the bond. Okay, and that becomes your earnings from the bond. During that 1 year, you are not receiving any interest from the company. Okay, then zero coupon bonds might have a convertibility option also. The more the number of features are added, more will be the price of the bond in the market. So a zero coupon bond with a convertibility option is giving the choice to the bond holder to convert the bond into equity shares at the end of the duration, at the end of the expiry period. So again, this is the choice that is given, and for that the bond holder will pay a higher amount. Give me a second, I'll just. Okay, so this is a zero coupon bond. A related term is a deep discount bond, which is also a zero coupon bond in the sense that during the duration of this bond, you are not receiving any interest payment from the company. At the end of expiry, you get the difference between the issue price and the redemption price, redemption value. डीप डिस्काउंट क्या होगा कि से आपको हायर डिस्काउंट मिल रहा है. डीप डिस्काउंट से 1,000 rupee bond is issued at 950. That would be a zero coupon bond. But 1,000 rupee bond being issued at 600 rupees would be a deep discount bond. Okay, and then the main difference between the two is the taxation feature. How are they taxed? Your zero coupon bonds से जो आपको earning मिलती है, that is treated as your capital gain. While in case of deep discount bonds, whatever earning you are getting at the end of expiry period, that is treated as the interest income for the holder. Okay. And as I told you earlier, इंटरेस्ट इनकम के ऊपर हायर टैक्स है, कैपिटल गेन के ऊपर लोअर टैक्स है। जीरो कूपन बॉन्ड पे ज्यादा डिस्काउंट सॉरी डीप डिस्काउंट बॉन्ड पर ज्यादा डिस्काउंट मिलेगा एज कंपेयर टू जीरो कूपन बॉन्ड, बट बोथ ऑफ देम आर नॉट गिविंग एनी इंटरेस्ट ड्यूरिंग द ड्यूरेशन ऑफ द बॉन्ड। Okay, and duration of a deep discount bond is generally longer than a zero coupon bond. Okay, next is tax-free bonds. Tax-free bonds जिन पर आपको टैक्स जो इंटरेस्ट रिसीट हो रही है आपकी, that on those interest receipts you are not paying any tax, generally issued by government and government entities. Like the example is given in the last point, NHAI, National Highways Authority, NTPC, Indian Railways. These are some of the more popular tax-free bonds available in the market. Okay, and government क्या कर रही है इनसे long term के लिए पैसा raise कर रही है for infrastructure projects depending on the uh, entity which is issuing this bond. Okay, next term used with respect to bonds is a junk bond. Junk is something which is having no value. Okay, a junk bond is the one which has the uh, highest risk involved, but then if risk is above average, then return expected on the same is also above average. They are getting a very low rating from the credit rating agency. जंक बॉन्ड्स क्या है जो रिस्की डीम्ड होते हैं by the credit rating agency. Any debt issue in India has to be rated by a credit rating agency, and as a result, the credit rating agency will analyze all the past performance and the financials, future prospects of the company, and then assign a rating. Now, as I told you, the rating can vary from, it is basically in terms of some symbols, say A plus, B negative, C, D and E, somewhat like this. तो उसमें क्या होता है जो लोएस्ट रेटिंग होती है से बॉन्ड को ई रेटिंग मिली है, so that bond is very risky for the investor. इसका मतलब there are chances that the company which is issuing the bond might fail on the interest payment on or on the principal payment. So credit worthiness of the company is rated by the credit rating agency. Okay. Now junk bonds have a very low rating by the credit rating agencies, but people in the sense speculators invest in these bonds to make above average return. Okay, and the chance of above average return is there, but then the risk is also very high. So these are known as junk bonds. Then treasury and corporate bonds, again issued by the central government. Municipal bonds issued by municipal corporations at the state level. Okay, and then we have the floating rate bonds. Fixed rate of interest है bond पे, that would be a fixed rate bond. Floating rate bond is one where there is a possibility of variable interest rate. तो जैसे जैसे benchmark rate market में vary करेगा, your interest on the floating rate bond will also vary. Okay, we'll stop here. We'll start with the features and interest um, factors affecting interest rate tomorrow. There's any question, any doubt, anyone?